Hello everyone, I'm Lauren De Silva and this is your Crystal Oracle card reading for new moon in Pisces. And Pisces is dreamy, intuitive, inward looking and sensitive. Now we're in the interlude for this new moon between the retrograde period that Mars has been through. Retrograde's just finished and it's going forwards again. And then Venus will be going retrograde in a short space of time as well. So we've got a spot between while we've got the new moon. So 24th, Mars finished going retrograde. 2nd of March, Venus goes retrograde. Retrogrades tell us to look inwards and actually go into a deeper aspect, if you like, of that planet's energy. So retrograde Mars, I think, was asking us to look at how we were using our energy, and now we're going forwards again. We can put that energy out into the world. And then retrograde Venus, I think, is asking us to look at how we view ourselves and how we present ourselves in the world. Look at our self-image before, again, being able to project that image out into the world when she goes forward. So that's how I see it. So I'm going to bring you down to the table so you can have a look at the cards with me. Before we begin to look at the cards, I'd like you to look at the three crystals that I've chosen. We've got an amethyst cluster, we've got rose quartz, and we've got a piece of lepidolite. And just have a look and see which one is calling to you. Which of those crystal energies attracts you the most? Amethyst, rose quartz, lepidolite. And that part of the reading is likely to be the part that has more relevance for you. But I would like you to remember these are general readings, they are for the collective. If there is anything that does not resonate as true for you, please just leave it behind. So under the amethyst we have the Tarot of Transformation. If I'm honest, I haven't checked to see whether these are still in print. I've had them for a long time, so you might have to get them second hand if you like them. I like them. They've got a kind of a shamanic feel about them, and it does feel like a time of transformation right now at the moment. It feels like we've all got a chance to shift and change if we're ready to do that, if we want to do that. Sometimes we resist that, of course, and the world makes us change anyway. The universe says, no, you do need to change, and then it's change that comes from outside. But at the moment, oh, how funny. At the moment, it feels like time we can make a change. So this is exactly what I'm talking about. Out it came, flowing with change, number 10, the Wheel of Fortune. You can't make this up, can you? You saw it fall out. So flowing with change, number 10, the Wheel of Fortune. Now I was only going to pick one card from this deck, but there's a few. So I'm going to look at what's underneath as well. But this is exactly what I mean. It's about being able to gracefully accept that life is changing rather than resist. So the more we can kind of go, okay, I know that certain aspects of my life may be done. I may need to release those, but that is to make space for a new dawn. You can see the sun coming up here. It's space for a new turn of the wheel. It's time for a new cycle to start. I'm making space for new energy to come in. Okay, let's see what came out underneath that. Beautiful. So this is Master of Wands, and in this deck is called the Temple of the Goddess. So, and I've been teaching this morning, recording this morning about the divine feminine for my moon circle, talking about the new moon in Pisces and talking about the goddess there. It's very much time for the divine feminine to rise. We can feel it. Lots of us can feel the divine feminine is rising. It's not to replace the divine masculine, but it's to take up the space next to the divine masculine so that there is a proper balance in the world. We've been skewed towards the masculine for too long. So, Temple of the Goddess, you might think about what that means for you. Teacher of Wands, so we've got a couple of, in fact I think, yes, they're all wands that have come out here, which is interesting, a whole collection of them. Wands are about action usually, so the Wheel of Fortune is moving, and then we've got these 3 action cards following on. So Master of Wands in this deck is a Teacher of Wands, and we've got almost like a flower that's got a figure coming out of it. Out the swirl of change, out blooms this figure from the flower. It opens up. And then finally, Healer of Wands. This is, so let me just read the top of this one, sorry. Spirit in matter. So we've got to remember that we are spirit in matter. We are co-creators of our life, even when we don't feel like we are, because we are pure spirit that has come into form to experience life through form. And it's the dance that we do down here through form that will give us our life experiences, our life learning. So engage with the dance is what I've got with this one. Engage with the dance. Here you are. You might as well bring your expression into your life. Don't just let life happen to you. Actually let yourself bloom and express yourself. And here we've got vibrational healing as the keywords and the Healer of Wands. And you've got this very beautiful mandala. Absolutely gorgeous, and it feels very spring-like, and we're coming up to meteorological spring. The 1st of March is considered to be meteorological spring, so that's really soon, and it does feel like a tree in blossom with elementals, fairy folk, and this beautiful fairy type figure with wings at the bottom here. So what needs healing in your life? What, if you healed, what would be able to flower? What gets in the way of flowering? What stops you doing your own beautiful thing? You need to look at that, and especially if that's coming from wounds, maybe maybe something went wrong. Maybe you tried something and it wasn't a success. You know what? Lots of people try things that are not successful, but they go on to try something else or to tweak the formula, and it becomes successful. So, or they become successful. If you stay stuck looking at what didn't work, you don't move forward with this Wheel of Fortune. You don't move forward to find out what's waiting to be realised in the world of change, in this place of form, in physicality, where we can actually manifest things on the earth plane. And because this is such a natural image, I would say, you know, make sure that you do spend time in nature. Nature can be so inspiring. You know, I think we've got a bird here, we've got flowers, we've got fruits. Get outside, get the fresh air, let the winds of change blow through your hair. Okay, so let's say more cards than I expected to come out, all under the Wheel of Fortune. So suggesting that, yeah, change is on the way. Maybe you got a bit despondent. Maybe it felt like things weren't moving. One of the messages that came through when I was recording for my moon circle was that you may have a situation where you feel like you've been putting a lot of effort in and nothing much seems to be happening. And under the surface, roots are growing. Under the surface, it's like the seed, it's got roots, it is getting, it is growing, it has got vitality, but the shoots have not come above the surface yet. You can't see the results yet. There's nothing to harvest yet, but the universe is responding to the work you've put in. So for people who have been working on a project but not yet seen it through to fruition, it's a suggestion to keep going with that. Don't abandon it unless it feels wrong. If it feels wrong, that's another matter. So as long as it feels aligned, don't abandon that project, because it may bear fruit and flowers in time to come. Okay, so I'm going to pop those like that. Okay, let's have a look at the tarot cards. These are more traditional tarot cards. This is the Druid Craft Tarot. So the intention was one from that, but the cards had a different idea. This is the Druid Craft Tarot, which I think you can still get. It is one of my favourite tarot decks. Very British Isles based imagery on this deck. Very beautiful, actually. Quite big. And actually the guidebook, if you're someone who wants to look at a guidebook, the guidebook that goes with this one really is exceptionally good. Okay, let's have cards for this Pisces new moon, please. Okay. Confirmation of Wands being important, because I have cut to the King of Wands. So there is some action on its way. If you're looking at this reading, it seems that way, and it may be action coming towards you. You may get offers and opportunities coming towards you, and it may be putting you on alert to say, yeah, okay, things are moving now. Maybe they haven't been, but here's the Wheel of Fortune. Here are these wand cards. Maybe there's an opportunity for change coming up either now or very soon on the horizon. And then let's have a look. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, then. You can't make this one up, can you? So Queen of Wands, the Lord, and the Two of Pentacles. Excellent. So we've got the King and the Queen of Wands, and we've got all those three. Okay, decisive action, do something, make sure it feels aligned with your truth, but you are being guided into action with these cards. And it's fiery energy, it's warming energy, which at this point in the year we could do with a bit of warming energy. We're coming right to the end, hopefully, of winter now. So a little bit of fire in your belly, a little bit of, or quite a lot of bit of decisiveness being called for, particularly as you've got the Two of Pentacles now, and she is juggling. Now, it's possible that you've got a couple of things going on and you want to focus on both, and you're capable of focusing on both, and that's okay. But the other side of this is maybe you're juggling two things that are not compatible. And if they're not compatible, you may have to choose which you keep and put the attention into and which you let fall away, which might be part of this Wheel of Fortune. So if you find you've got too many metaphorical balls in the air, and it's not easy to actually feed both projects with the energy they require, projects or whatever priorities, you may need to pick which is the one. That could be happening. Otherwise, just be aware that you are splitting your energy between at least two different things. That might be fine for you. That might be one of those compromises where you go, well, yeah, I want to do both, so I'm going to. I don't want to lose sight of one while I do the other, or lose sight of the other while I do one. So I need to make sure both come through to completion. So there is a certain amount of switching between projects as the energy feels right. For me, you may have similar, it may be something completely different, probably is completely different, but can you keep energy feeding into both projects, or do you need to pick one focus? And you can see in the background of this card, she's okay, she's on the shore, it's light above her head, but in the background there is a shipwreck. Okay, so it's just there's just a kind of a little bit of a warning note in the background of this card that say you're not juggling 2 projects, say you're juggling 5 projects, you're likely to let one of them drop inadvertently anyway. So probably better to actually work out where are your priorities, what are you going to feed with your energy, is something past its best anyway, and time to let go so the fresh energy can come in. So that's the 2 of Pentacles. And here we are with the Lord, looking kind of as a just underlining here the King of Wands, isn't it? Because we've got these very strong male figures on thrones, in charge, both holding a staff. It's saying, come on, drive a seat of your own life, please. Let yourself own your power. Let yourself feel sovereignty over your life. And if you can't have sovereignty and control over all your life, and most of us can't, where do you have it? And enjoy that aspect. And maybe there's other aspects that you could reclaim for yourself. So it's about not letting your energy, I think, be too dissipated, and then you can be effective. Then you can move forward. And on the throne, on the Lord, you can see ram's heads. We're in Pisces season at the moment, but we will be coming to Aries season, the ram. And we have just got to the point where Mars has stopped being in retrograde just a few days ago, and is going forward again. So forward action. And Mars is the ruler of the sign of Aries. Okay, so it does suggest that you get your focus. You know, these are all very focused energies. Get your focus, decide what you're going to do with your energy, whether you've got a wand or a staff, or it's a pen or a paintbrush, or whatever it might be that you use to direct your energy. Decide where your focus is for moving forwards. Okay, interesting. So let's have a look. This is the Goddess Oracle, and one of my favourite decks of Goddess cards, actually. So we're just going to have, I think it's this one here trying to come out. Here we are. Okay, so Goddess energy, Demeter here, and you can see she's holding a flaming torch as well. So it's a confirmation, yes, fiery energy. Now, she's also got, in this particular depiction of her, a snake around her neck. We are in the Chinese year of the snake, and it is time to shed the old skin. It's time, if you're hanging on to old stuff that you don't need to keep anymore, it's time to let it go. And interestingly enough, I didn't mention, as I was looking at this, this was almost like a shedding of a snake skin to me. So that's just drawing my attention back to this card as well. So be ready to let go of stuff that's past. It's time. It doesn't mean it was never any good. It means it's not something for you to hang on to now. You can be grateful for it, but you can let it go. If it's done, it's time. Time to let go. Time to usher in the change. Now, in the mythology around Demeter and her daughter Persephone, spring, which is coming, is the time when Demeter's daughter comes back to the surface. When spring can happen because Persephone is allowed out of the underworld, back to the surface of the earth, and then the plants can grow and the flowers can bloom. And Demeter is the reason for this, because she is goddess of nature, and her happiness makes things grow. So Demeter's come really to give us a blessing, to say, yeah, actually we're coming into a time of growth and abundance, and she's putting us, she's giving us that signal. Okay, now before Persephone can come out of the underworld, there may be some soul searching. There may be that thinking about, going inwards and thinking about what does feel like it needs to go. And it might be an old attitude. It might not be a person, a job, a place, some things. It might be an old behaviour, habit, attitude. Do a little bit of thinking. What's in your way? Where do you need to release so that you can move forward, so you can go through this rebirthing process, which feels like it's very much on the cards. So I hope that's helpful for you. We're just going to finish with one of my little crystal cards to see what kind of crystal energy we have got. And nice. So we've got Dunbarite, spiritual guidance. I receive wise guidance. Now this goes with that Piscean energy that we've got at the moment with Pisces season, with the new moon in Pisces, which asks us to go quiet and listen to our guidance. Listen, go inwards, listen to our guidance. And Dunbarite's beautiful. I'll just get you a piece. Okay, so this is Dunbarite. Really lovely, high vibrational crystal. It is one of my go-to meditation type crystals because the energy is very high, very pure. When you're asking for spiritual guidance, it's not that your spirit guides ever desert you. They don't go, oh, do you know what, I'm not going to bother with her or him anymore. It's that your vibration needs to lift so that they can meet you somewhere in the middle. They're high vibrational beings. When we get mired in earth stuff, our vibration can get quite low sometimes, and we need to lift up. We need to literally lighten up. And when we lighten up, we can hear our guidance. We can listen to our guidance. So if you felt a little bit heavy, especially after a sort of long winter, a piece of Dunbarite will bring lots of light into your energy field. So meditate with Dunbarite, let yourself go within, quiet that mind, or at least let the monkey mind get on with it, and listen in, see what guidance you get. And we're looking at the word wise here, wise guidance. We don't want just any old guidance from any old being that happens to be passing by. We want our highest guidance that's going to actually help us on our life path, help us moving forwards. Okay, so I hope that has been a useful reading for you for this Pisces new moon. If you enjoyed it, please remember to hit the like button. And if you would like to receive more of my readings and other videos, do hit the subscribe button as well.